Brothers and sisters, celestial energy, cosmic prince, Sima Baturi, Anu. What's going on, y'all? You know, I was listening to Brother Khalid today. He had a very powerful video, and he was talking about how these Saxons are complaining that the energy is causing them to become ill, all right? In which the energy is causing them to become ill. The energy is causing them to become, causing their bodies to break down. Let's just say that. And you know, it just goes back to that video that I did, and when the Saxon woman said, "We're the superior race." It's kind of crazy how these beings have this idea that they're superior to the original beings, and they tell us that we're the minority, and they tell us that we are only 14% of the so-called nation's population. All right. First it was 13%. Now they're saying it's 14% of the nation's population, and say that they are the majority. Their species are the majority of the population. Yet we still outnumber them 10 to 1,000 to 1. We still outnumber them 1,000 to 1. Excuse that squeak. It's my brakes. Everybody's been complaining about the brakes squeaking. My oldest daughter got her brakes done at Firestone, and her brakes are squeaking. And I figured out that what we found out was that they're using a cheaper material to create the brakes now. So I have to get this paste to put on the brakes so that they won't squeak. But as I'm watching this video of Brother Khalid, it took me back to the previous video that we had talking about how these ultra powerful electron particles are entering our realm. How these electron particles are entering our realm, how this energy is literally engulfing our realm. How they're now getting radiation poisoning. And we talked about this as you know, and I talked about this in the scope of a timekeeper some years ago on my original channel, Remedy H. And we talked about how the days were coming where these beings would get sick from the planet, from everything, and there will be nothing that they could use. There will be nothing that they could do to render themselves healthy. And they would go to their doctors, and their doctors would even be sick, and they would be dying. So you must remember that their forefathers brought them here. Their forefathers brought them here, and their job was to make sure that we as the original beings remain in a sleep state while their others steal our resources, take our resources, use our resources, send our resources to other gateways, to their other planets, to their homes, use our resources to make war in other places. Oh yes. Don't think there's war going on here. They're using our resources there, and these resources are going off world, brothers and sisters. These resources are going off world, going into another world. They know about gateways and portals and stargates. Yes, they do. But they want to tell brothers and sisters, oh, this is science fiction. And you got these brothers and these sisters caught up in all this Hebrew Israelite religion and all. So there's no space. The fuck you think you're looking up when you look at a night sky? Look at a day's sky. The fuck you think you're looking at? So they're dying. These Saxons are dying. I heard about the case in Canada. All those people getting radiation poisoning, and it was from cosmic energies. Yes, it was from the cosmic energies. It's not from the sun anymore alone. Everyone always thought it was from the sun. No, it's the planet. I still go back to the dream that my mom had, where she said there was millions upon millions of these Saxons on boats, and they were on the ocean trying to get away from the land because they said the land was killing them. And this was happening right now. Everything is becoming radioactive. Everything is becoming hyper powerful. The electron particles is going all throughout our realm, literally causing them to taste death on a whole nother level. We are watching things happen, which is why, you know, they knew these Saxons, like we said, they have the scrolls, and they know what the scrolls say, and they know how to watch the stars, they know how to watch the moon, they know how to watch certain things, the planets. They know this. They know how to watch certain things, certain events. Because our Hopi brothers and sisters put that put those events on the scroll, because remember we talked about how they time travel. They time travel, and they were looking at us and watching us and taking notes, going back to the time where they were and filing everything in the libraries. Yes. And now we're looking at a definite change, brothers and sisters. They're dying. They think because they're going to change the monetary system, it's going to make anything better. It's not. BRICS. I found out what BRICS was. It's Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South America. That's BRICS. And they think because they change the currency or whatever, it's going to save them. But Saxons and Orientals alike will suffer at the hands of nature. They have taken so much away from us. They've removed us from so many parts of our existence. They've lied to us. I mean, everything. And the Saxons and the Orientals are all alike, and they literally work together to make sure that we stay in a sleep state so that we won't awaken. You know, that's why they always say don't awaken the sleeping giant. They're talking about us. We're the sleeping giants. We're not talking about some mountain area. They talk about us. Because they know that there's a power in us that is so great that it can literally wipe out whole armies, just like a giant. That power is returning. We're learning everything. Everything those Orientals did over there, how they fought against us, then they learned our ways and took our ways and went on the lie talking about, oh yeah, you know, the Chinese people created Kung Fu. What do you mean it? And the Japanese people created karate. Wait a minute. We already had those. That's been here for ages, for eons. Like we said, we use those movements to move energy, not for physical contact and sport. Those were used for moving energy, whether we had to fight, whether we had to build, whether we had to destroy. So everything that they've done against us is now coming back. Karma is coming. And they're dying. They're dying. They're having all kind of different brain diseases, unheard of, unknown diseases. And this is one thing that we talked about some calendar years ago. How the time was coming where they would get sick from different diseases, from the energy. Just like we talk about coronavirus, that was a disease, that was a virus that came from the moon, a lunar energy, a lunar frequency that their bodies couldn't take. Made them become lunatics. Yes. So it's the energy that's causing them to get sick. The radiation that's coming in. And see, the thing about it, brothers and sisters, our bodies are highly radioactive. We are extremely highly radioactive beings. This carbon, the melanin, what they call melanin, this carbon is radioactive. And we have so many radioactive elements inside of our bodies. That's why all this radiation is coming down doesn't hurt us. But yet still, our brothers and sisters will sleep to who we are. Oh, let me wear this EMF amulet because it keeps me from getting these dangerous electromagnetic frequencies. But you know your body produces this same EMF that you're trying to block? Senseless shit our brothers and sisters do because they're fast asleep. They don't know. And see, and this is all a part of the Saxons. These Saxons, they did this. They did this to us. They're the ones who put us in this mindset. But we don't know who we are. We don't know what we're supposed to do. We don't know how to operate. We don't know where to go, what to move, how to think. Don't even know how to speak. They taught us how to speak curses on each other and all that. I mean, it's just craziness. Taught us how to fight each other, how to do each other wrong. Yes. Just like, tonight at my workplace, this older brother tried to hit me with his high-low. Yes. And when I confronted him about it and I got angry and I yelled at him, he got scared because I let the beast out of me. Because I needed him to know that I'm not to be played with. And I would do that with anybody. My own kinfolk as well as my enemies. They're dying, brothers and sisters. They're dying. And right now, the ones that are getting hit the most are the children and the elderly. Just like Brother Kali said, the children and the elderly are getting hit the most. See, I'll never take anybody's information that they gave out without saying who gave the information first. Brother Kali, or I know he likes to say Kalai, gave the information first. So I'm just regurgitating what the brother already said. But like he said, the children and the elderly are the ones who get hit first. And then as this energy gets greater and greater, and this radioactive energy gets greater and greater, then the middle age of the Saxons and Orientals will begin feeling it. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? They're literally dying. And this is not in the mainstream media. This This is not in the newspapers. They keep it in a hush-hush because they don't want anybody to know that judgment is upon them. We talked about that, how they're going to be dying, how they're going to be, the radiation is going to kill them off. We talked about that. We said that this is the curse that was put upon them. They have been cursed. As a timekeeper, I can pass these curses, but you brothers and sisters can also pass these curses as well. So they literally are at a stage of checking out. And they're not going to admit it. And like we said, they're doctors. I've never seen this disease before. I've never seen this cancer before. They have rare cancers. Some of them are having cancers where by the time it's detected, it's already in the 4th stage. And that's the radiation that's coming down because their bodies are so fragile. But yet still, they're the superior people. They're the superior people according to them. They're not superior. They're inferior. They're inferior people, and they know this. So, like we said in that one video before, brothers and sisters, don't worry about this money that they trying to put us in fear. Oh, 1 BRICS dollars, 55 American dollars. It's all the same program. It's all the same program, brothers and sisters. It's all the same program. There's nothing different. It's all the same program. They're all working together. They want you to think that they're fighting against each other when in reality, they're not fighting. They're not fighting against each other. When they talk about first world country and third world countries, let me tell you something, brothers and sisters. They're all third world countries. Because the technology that we had long ago was first world. We had towers and temples and pyramids and, I mean, you name it. Everything that we built was designed to harness the energy and put the energy into the atmosphere. They create square buildings that is designed to literally suck the energy from the planet. And they want us to sit in those buildings and help them to make their monies. They're switching over to BRICS because the dollars that they once had are no longer any good. The frequency has been dried out of their money. Their monies is gone. You see, their monies is being destroyed. And their lives are being destroyed at the same time. It's no play game. So we're going to come together and create our own money. No. And what are you doing that for? Because your money is no good anymore. The ruble, the yen, the won, all this bullshit, it's done. It's done. It's over. So we're looking at some powerful energies coming down. Just like we said before, we got these tightly packed electrons, these densely packed electrons coming down. And what does electrons create? Electrons create light, but also electrons create extremely high levels of dense radiation. Plus you got the photons, dense photon particles, light particles coming from our galactic sun, which is exerted through our atmospheric sun. You get all these frequencies coming from our galactic moon, exerted through our moon, our atmospheric moon. Come on, brothers and sisters. I mean, this is no play game. It's time for us to stop playing around. The reality is getting ready to sit in. Because when all these countries and all these beings, these inorganic beings all over our realm, when they all die off, which they're doing now. Even the clones that they're trying to create, I've already visited the labs, and they're trying to create these clones that they decided to create, and the energy is so dense and so thick that it's literally killing the clones in the midst of them creating them. This dense energy is literally going to engulf the entire realm, and it's nothing but going to be powerful radioactive energies everywhere. Brothers and sisters already getting notifications and being tuned in and hearing everything that's going on. Come on now, come on. Just know, brothers and sisters, they're dying. They're dying. 2023, calendar year 2023, the year of chaos and confusion. 2024, the year of death and destruction, and it's approaching fast. 2025, they know. Will they make it to 2025? That's the question. Because right now, them and their system are holding on to a thread. They're holding on by a thread, not holding on to a thread, but they're holding on by a thread. All right? They're dying, brothers and sisters. These beings are dying in high numbers. All right? Don't think because you don't see it, just know it's happening. And as this energy and these electron particles and energies become more dense, the density of them becomes more dense and more than the thickness, and become more pressed together. We're going to feel that energy, and they're not going to be able to take that energy, because this is when the point where we get ready to transform, and they won't be able to transform. Like the one Oriental woman called Mexican, she said, her mother says, "We're the brown people, we're the brown." No, you don't belong here. You're all Orientals. It is what it is. All right, brothers and sisters. I'll catch you guys later. They're dying. They're dying on a high level. They're not going to tell you that. Remember, they're not going to tell you that. They're not going to disperse that energy to you, that information to you, because the information is energy. They're not going to disperse that energy to you. They're not going to tell you that. No. Everything's all right. Oh yeah, we're gonna try to. They want to kill off everyone who was created in the image of God, which is the original beings. This is what they want, because they want an artificial intelligence world, and we're not allowing it. You tried the wrong motherfuckers. Now we told you, you're in a hornet's nest, and you're about to be stung. All power to the multi-chakra celestial angelic beings. May chaos reign with you forever and ever and ever. And remember, chaos is everything. Remember, we're chaos, brothers and sisters. We're chaos. Much power to you all.